back, AdventureBlur here. So recently I found a bunch of my old game guides I used growing up, and it hit me pretty hard how old I'm getting. Nowadays it's pretty easy to look up a let's play or how-to guide for games. When the late 90s and early 2000s, things were different. The internet was a thing, but rarely did I ever use it for gaming. Instead I either have pages from old forums printed off by my parents, or I just bought the actual game guide books. So this time, I want to take a look back at all these pre-YouTube guides I used growing up, and all the crazy memories that came with them back then. So, let's get started. First off, I want to talk about the ones I'm probably the most nostalgia blind for, the print-offs. Like I mentioned earlier, my parents used to find these old gaming forums and would print off pages of them for me and my sister. Anytime we had a question about Animal Crossing, they'd be page upon page upon page for us. There was a lot here too, more than most guides would ever mention. Stuff like glitches, rumors, and fake codes, so yeah. Fake codes. So in the original Animal Crossing for the GameCube, there's a way to order specific furniture by simply giving Tom Nook a code. Me and my sister loved this growing up. It made things like completing the Mario set or getting rare NES games much easier as long as you were willing to take the time to type it out. But, seeing as this was the internet, there were also a lot of fake codes. Codes that sounded like they give you a really cool piece of furniture or clothing, but would just give you a headache instead. Now there's two types of people who make these fake codes. The Doc Ox, where someone miscalculated and put the wrong letter or number on the code by accident. And then there's the Green Goblins, where they did this on purpose just to annoy any kids dumb enough to try the codes. The latter is 90% of what you see here. And I fell for a lot of these. And the sad part is that it was obvious it was fake most of the time. I mean, look at this. How the heck did I fall for this? One in particular that I remember falling for a lot was for this stupid caveman shirt. A caveman shirt sounded pretty cool to me as a kid, but the code was fake. Very, very fake. And one more fake code for the video because this one's the classic. The, with a Q for some reason, please dog is copper. He is cool. He ain't wrong, I guess. I mean, he is a... Then there were the real cheats and glitches, mostly revolving around Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Me and my sister were obsessed with the game, and in particular the Chow back then. I'm kinda still am obsessed. We used to train our Chow to be the best they could be, then go to our cousin's house and have a Chow race, or play Chow karate. It was pretty great, and these codes helped a lot in that. We learned what a hero and Dark Chow really were, the best places to find certain Chow animals, crazy glitches that we later taught our cousins and friends. Heck, I discovered what Chaos Chow were thanks to these guides. And it wasn't just Chow stuff either. In an old video I mentioned how I grew up thinking Supersonic and Hyper Shadow were playable in the game. Well, that rumor came from this exact page. Which, if you really think about it, means that I was lied to again by another online guide. Yay. Really? This one in particular has a ton of memories like this. My sister drew pictures of our Chow all over the pages, and there's highlighter on parts we were determined to do as well. It's kind of like stepping back in time. Now there were other games that we did. I know in particular we did Sonic Riders, as well as a few of the LEGO games. But those were just some of the early online guides. Later on, I discovered something that most people used long before the internet. Real game guides. Neat. Game guides, especially the Prima ones, were just like the old print-offs, but unlike those, they were actually accurate and way better in every way possible. Okay, them being completely accurate is a bit of a stretch. Gameplay-wise, I think they are very accurate, but sometimes they get a lot of the other facts very, very wrong. Like, embarrassing for the person that wrote it wrong. It's just sad. A really good example of this is this NES compilation guide I have. It was released in the 80s and was basically a guide for all these classic NES games like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, among others. The guides themselves are fine and serviceable, but the little blurbs about the games are so bad. One minute they call Pit Kid Icarus, then they call him Pit again. on the same page. According to it, Metroid took place in the year 2005. It just hurts me. But besides all the lore issues these guides have, I think they are pretty good guides overall, and definitely much better than the print-offs. You just had to actually spend money on them. So, it's kind of a trade-off. Better quality, but you lose some money, versus trash quality, but you'd have to spend 10 bucks. As a kid, you can see which one I did more. It's going to be the free one. It's just a fact. It's going to be the free one you go after. Now, when it comes to these official game guides, you couldn't, and sometimes still can't, go to a game store without seeing these things for certain games. They used to make them for everything, even games that really don't need major guides. I remember vividly having a Star Wars Battlefront guide, and that game, as great as it is, does not need a game guide. Another one I had just like Battlefront was Lord of the Rings Conquest. For some reason they made a game guide for that game, even though it's just like Star Wars Battlefront in every way possible. It didn't need a game guide. I mean, it's good, but it didn't need one. Why would they make a game guide for this game? Oh yeah, I forgot money. They needed the money. Then there were ones that made the game so much easier to enjoy, such as, unsurprisingly, Animal Crossing. I never had one for the original, but I do have ones for City Folk, New Leaf, and Wild World. Actually, I'm not sure about Wild World's one. I think I might have gotten rid of it, but yeah, lots of Animal Crossing. They would include just about everything. Character birthdays, item prices, you name it, they had it. Unlike the ones that were downloaded, these ones had no glitches, but a ton of everything else. These guides were great back before the internet was too big, and made these games even better. If you take some time off of Animal Crossing, it would always be somewhat difficult to remember when's what and what to do and stuff like that. These guides made it much simpler to figure all that out. Now, as time went on, these guides seemed to be less and less major. Of course, the internet is to blame for that, and no one's complaining, but it's still pretty weird. These guides went from a major help to sometimes a necessity to a collector's item. It's less for the how-to stuff and more for the interviews and goodies they put in with it. I bought a Pokemon Let's Go guide for less than $5 last year. Some of it is about getting through the game, but a lot of it is just interviews and concept art, as well as a map of Kanto and some badge stickers. It is a nice map though. This isn't even a recent occurrence. As early as 2008, they were putting bonuses into these guides. I have a Smash Bros. Brawl one that came out with an exclusive poster. There was also the pretty well-known Mario Galaxy one, which detailed a lot of the making of the game, including old concept art for levels and characters. Now don't get me wrong, as a collector, I love this new take on game guides. Getting cool behind the scenes facts about games is always fun, and the concept art and maps and what have you, it's just great as it is. But it's still kind of sad to see game guides go this route. Understandable, but sad. I doubt we'll ever live in a world where game guides don't exist, but they'll never be as impactful or important as they once were. I actually found out while making this video that Prima, the legend of game guides itself, almost went out of business in early 2019. Just more proof that the age of game guides is ending. And on that semi-depressing note, thank you so much for watching the video. This one has taken quite a lot of time to make, but I think it turned out amazing. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment below what you thought of the video and any memories you had with game guides, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And, as always, this is AdventureBlur, and I will see you next time.